Okay, so hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. So today I'd like to start out just with a brief talk about my forgiveness practice, and then the Hathors want to come in with what they told me is a message of love. And they wouldn't tell me anything else about it. So just want to talk about my forgiveness practice. So I've been doing a course in miracles for the past, I would say it's about 5 years now. So every day, there's a lesson for every day. And I usually, what I do is I just write it down on a piece of paper and, write it down. And then I meditate on it in the morning, and then throughout my day, so where if I'm out in public or if I'm in a place that might be stressful, I just kind of pull it out of my pocket, take a look at it and say, all right, I got this. This is going to be okay. I can figure my way around this in a peaceful way. I can maintain peace in situations that might trigger me or might make me, basically trigger me. And there's so many things that are so triggering now these days, these past few years, and I guess they've always been around, but once you start realizing that they're always there. And so part of us becoming more enlightened beings is learning how to deal with these triggers, so to not learning to control your emotions, learning that these triggers are there to teach you lessons about life. And so today, my forgiveness practice. So I'm not sure if I'll read the lesson out, but the lesson that I was on was lesson 358, and then today's 359. And the basic idea is that no call to God is left unanswered. And then today is that the answer is some form of peace. And I'm not really doing a good job about this, so I'll stop talking about that. But the concept is to forgive. Forgiveness is the most important idea for all of this. The way for us to find peace in this world is forgiveness. Forgiveness is the closest to truth. It's not the truth. And according to the Course in Miracles, forgiveness is a reflection of the truth. The truth is, that we are God. But in this 3D world, it's very hard for us to conceive of it. And so forgiveness is the closest thing to it, but it isn't it. It's a reflection of it. And so this morning I was doing my forgiveness practice for all of the things that are happening. So just in my inner circle, just friends and family and things like that. And also for people that are in the news that maybe there's a lot of anger projected towards them, and forgiving them and thanking them for their role in waking us all up and helping us and triggering us and getting us, they are teachers. And they are suffering. So whenever anyone on the mass media is being targeted, that is a lot of energy from us. We are very, very powerful, and our emotions are really powerful. And so when people from all over the world are projecting that negative energy onto something or someone, they feel it. I'm sure they feel it. And so part of my forgiveness practice is just thanking them, forgiving them, and sending them positivity for doing this wonderful job, because we are on this planet of black and white. So I'm just talking about yin and yang, duality. But in actuality, there is no duality. We are just here playing a game. And some people are playing the dark roles, some people are playing the light roles, but the key at the end of the day is for us to forgive them and to understand the roles that they've played. Now, this is not my original thought. This is from A Course in Miracles and from another teaching, from another teacher that would like to remain, anonymous for the time being. So I'm not saying that these are my original thoughts. But these are the thoughts that I've come up with through the Course in Miracles and my other training. So, and I find that this forgiveness practice is so very powerful and so helpful for dealing with everything that's been going on. I think if I didn't have A Course in Miracles and my other teacher, I think, I don't know how I would have handled these past few years. I probably wouldn't have handled them. I was actually given a few exit points in the past few years, and I was told that an exit point is a path, a place on your life plan where you can exit, you know. So our lives are geared as stories, like plot lines, like a movie, and it's got to be believable, right? Otherwise, it just, where did that come from? So we have these exit points, choice points, where we can decide: are we going to stay, or are we just going to jump off and say, you know what, I'm finished. I've had enough experiences, enough pain. You know, I learned my lesson. Let me out of here. And so I think I might have chosen some of those exit points. I imagine. I don't know for sure, but I feel that there's a possibility I would have. As a lot of people seem to be choosing exit points these days, and I imagine it's a lot to deal with these days. There's a lot of things to deal with, and there's nothing wrong with people choosing their exit points, but I think they're there because you don't know how far you might have gone along the path, and you know before you chose your path that you would be in a very, very stressful situation, as we are in now, as all of us are in now, and that it can take a lot out of you, and sometimes it's just too much, and there's nothing wrong with it being too much. And again, now it sounds like I'm advocating taking an exit point. I'm not. I'm just explaining the idea of exit points and just my personal experience that I've had a few times where I was quite sick, and I kind of asked, my guides, and I said, and they said, yes, this would have been an exit point if you hadn't gotten to the point where you are now to, as they often say, surf these crazy emotions and crazy things that are going on at the moment. So that's my story. I hope it wasn't too much of a ramble. It probably was. I think most of you probably listening, you might just skip to the channeling anyway, but that's fine too. That's okay. So let me just bring in the Hathors. But it's very cold in this room. It's very cold in Japan at the moment. I'm sure it's cold all over the world. Well, not all over, but in the northern hemisphere. So anyway, I'll call in the Hathors. Hello, we are here. We are the Hathors, and as this guide had said, we are here to bring a message of love, and we like to keep it a secret from him, what it is that we might say, because if we tell him beforehand, his conscious mind might interfere with it and might try to bring in other ideas. And so, yes, we have a clean slate. We can come in and say what we would like to say without his conscious mind interfering. So, yes, we bring a message of love and a message of peace as always. And for all of you, we hope that you feel the love and the peace that we are always projecting towards you. And we always say that it is very important for you that if you'd like to call us in, just call us in. We are always here to help you and to guide you. And if you need our help, just call us. And as this guide said, yes, no call to us is left unanswered. It's the same. We are all working on the side of the light here. And so if you need any guidance, any help, call on us and look for the signs, because they will be all around you. Pay attention to the signs. So it might not come as a channeling like this guide before you. It might just come as a message. It might come as a song. It might come as a feeling, anything. And just know that we're here. Just know that we're here, and we are here to help you. Now, we just come through today to talk about the heightened energies on your planet, as we had talked about in another video. And this is just what we would like to address again today. And how important it is in these tumultuous times for you to have a spiritual practice. Now, by spiritual practice, we don't mean that you have to be talking with God or joining a religion. By spiritual practice, we mean that it is very, very important in these times that you understand that you are not just a human being on this planet that is going to, was born and is going to die at a certain point. It is very important that you understand that you are eternal beings, that you are one with God, and that this is just a small part of your experience as a being. And for you to understand how important you are in everything that is going on. So this spiritual practice means that you are aware that you're not just a human, that you are also a spirit, that you are a soul. And this spiritual practice takes you out of this matrix, this 3D matrix that you're in, and allows you to see things from a higher perspective. And that is basically what we mean as spiritual practice. So you don't have to choose to name, like this guy does. He chooses names for different beings when he contacts them. And this is fine as well. But if you do not want to contact anyone directly, if you just want to contact your higher self, and you just want to look down and see everything from a higher perspective, that is fine as well. But that is what we would like to stress, and we, of course, cannot tell you or anyone what to do. And if anyone tells you what to do, know that you should not listen to them, that we are, as we would say, a guide, and we're just giving you guidance, and you are free to take it and free to not take it. And that is a very important thing. You have free will. Always know that you have free will in every situation. So, the message that we want to give you, the guidance, is that please find a spiritual practice, and this will help you to deal with these waves, with the tumultuous things that are happening on your planet. Now, this guide uses A Course in Miracles, and that is one way of going about it. But as we said, there are many, many others. You are free to choose. And always understand that a spiritual practice is not about being spiritual as you understand it on your planet now, because you are spiritual. Everything about you, you are a spirit. So it is not the things that you are told in your society that spiritual is, because some of those are not actually spiritual. They are more 3D than they are spiritual. But the message is to find a connection to your higher self, and to understand that you are your higher self, and to understand that you can look at these things from a higher perspective and understand that it is just an interplay of the light and the dark. And that is our message to you today. Okay, so thanks. Thank you, everyone. Cheers.